Yo, hey everyone, Supremisis here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get better at Rainbow Six Siege. These are pretty much my tips and tricks, and I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion on how to get better at Siege like I did. So as you guys know, Siege has been out for a very long time now, and there's been a whole bunch of seasons in Ranked. With the new season coming up and it just being around the corner, I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and make this video for you guys because I know a majority of you guys like my videos because of Rainbow Six Siege. Now recently my internet's been pretty bad, so I haven't been making too many videos unless it's been on COD, because having bad internet on COD actually helps sometimes. So with this video I'm going to show you guys how to get better before Operation White Noise comes out, and you guys can jump into that ranked season knowing all the best tips and tricks right here on this channel. Now as you guys can see on my screen right now, I've been standing still for about 5 minutes now, and as you guys can see on the top right hand of my screen, I don't know if you guys know what I'm about to say, but Terrorist Hunt is the best way of warming up. And yes, that's exactly what I said, is warming up. This game is very important. If you guys jump on early in the morning like me, you guys will have very bad potato aim and your aim will just be completely off. So you guys either jump into Terrorist Hunt normal, hard or realistic difficulty. I do not want to recommend you guys one of them. Now I'm not going to tell you guys whether you guys should play normal, hard or realistic. I prefer playing realistic because it helps with my reaction time, because they react 10 times faster than I do. But then you guys just go ahead and get into Terrorist Hunt and warm up. Now what I usually do is that I usually go in and go for as many headshots as I possibly can with my aim assist off, and I go ahead and get my aim on point before I jump into a ranked game. As you guys see there, it's pretty easy, just run in. You guys can practice as much as you guys like, killing all the terrorists, trying to get headshots more and more and more, and then you guys will realize that warming up before you guys get into a game will drastically help you when going in and not potatoing in every single kill like I would, for example. Moving on to my second point, knowing that all my points are very like here and there. Now I don't know actually what happened to the audio there, but go ahead and play ranked in a team. Now what I mean by that is sometimes in ranked, as you guys know in casual, people team kill a lot in ranked, and sometimes people team up on a Smurf account and they pretty much throw games like nothing. So what you guys want to do is go ahead and just get your friends, get people who you think are good at the game, or just your friends in general, and go ahead and play ranked in a team. That leads me to my third point. Communication is key, is because if you guys go ahead and drone out for your teammates, you guys have a drone, you bring your drone into the room, you know that someone is in the southeast corner. Now as you guys can see, the compass on the bottom right, the southeast corner, you guys can see where my bullets are right here is what supposed to be a person is, okay? Now why communication is key is because let's say Twitch is another random player and you're in the bathroom droning for some reason, droning out of the room and communicating with your team. Now you want to tell your team he's in the southeast corner of the master bedroom, exactly where my bullets are right there, and then obviously if he's in the hallway, he now won't go in the room and do this. He won't look in this corner because obviously he would die from this corner, right? He won't go in the room and look like this because he knows exactly where he is with your communication. He can easily wallbang it, get the kill like that, run in the room, slow down and go ahead and pre-fire the corner where the person would be, or he will then communicate with you as you guys will both push in at the same time to pinch him in the same corner, you coming from the bathroom and him coming from the doorway, and there you guys have it. You guys have an instant kill. Good communication gives you wins. Now having communication actually leads me to another point, and that is called droning. Now when you guys drone, it gives you guys a second life. If you guys are unsure of where the enemy is, quickly get into a safe corner, go ahead and drone out the room and find exactly where the enemy is. Now I know that he's not in the southeast corner because I droned it. I know he's not in the northeast corner. I don't have to go ahead and drone closet because I obviously think that he's in there. I will then move in and just pre-fire closet if he's in here. I'll go ahead and just open it up and find exactly where he is. Now droning gives you a very tactical advantage. You can run in the room knowing exactly where the enemy is, and you can go ahead and pre-fire that corner and most likely get the kill, getting the win for your team. Moving on to my next point, and that is called game sense. Now what I mean by game sense is by knowing map knowledge and having a common understanding of where you think the enemy will be pushing, peeking, or even holding angles in certain situations. Now, having game sense is very important because you guys can go ahead and put barbed wire and certain other things like barricades and stuff like that in certain spots where you guys think the enemies will be pushing, or where the enemies will be sitting in certain corners. Now, as you guys know, that corner over there, that very obvious corner where most of everyone sits, you guys should know this, that you guys will most likely see someone in that corner if you guys attack house on this room or something like that. So you guys might go to bathroom and pre-fire this corner or aim in it just to see if someone's there. Now, having game sense is very important because you guys can then pre-fire corners where you think enemies would be, and you might actually get lucky because someone might actually be there. So having game sense is very important, and it'll help you guys out drastically. Moving on to my next point, and that is actually having certain operators for certain situations. Now, as you guys know, when most people hold the garage door or the garage downstairs, it being bomb or secure area, you guys need to bring a thermite or a Hibana and even a Thatcher to get in. Sometimes a Twitch does the job, but it's better to have a Thatcher and a thermite to actually get into the garage and deal as much damage as you guys possibly can. Now, there's not really much to actually explain in this category, but it's very important to have the certain operators for certain situations because you guys need a thermite on certain walls to actually get into the objective, so you guys can actually win the round and win the game potentially. Now, another good example of this is actually on defense. As you guys know, Mirror loves to sit in this corner of house in the garage, as you guys know that. Having Mirror for certain situations so they can't go ahead and breach, so thermite can't go ahead and just breach this wall blatantly and get into the objective is very important. This also goes for Bandit being in Geisha. This also goes for Mirror being in Oregon down in the basement to stop the plant and the push from the main stairs. Now, this actually goes for a lot of situations. Many depending on the strategy that you guys are actually doing, depending what room you guys are holding or anything like that, and everyone's coming up with new things and new operators for certain strategies every single day. Moving on to my next point is finding the right attachments. Now, what I mean by finding the right attachments, I mean by finding the personal preference that you guys have for attachments. Now, my personal preference on Buck is actually by running a compensator, a holographic, and a laser sight. Now, why I run these attachments is because, as you guys know, Buck's kick on his gun for the recoil is extremely bad, as you guys can see. It pretty much goes directly up, as you guys can see. And if you guys have no way to control that recoil, then running an ACOG on this gun is very, very bad. Now, what I usually like running is a holographic because it helps me with the gun kick. As you guys can see, it's a lot more controllable in my personal preference. Now, another good example of this is actually with DMRs. As you guys know, DMRs are semi-automatic. Now, in my opinion, I wouldn't be running a suppressor, a flash hider, or a compensator. I would want to be running a muzzle brake. My reasoning behind this is, as you guys can read in the muzzle brake description, reduces the overall weapon kick of single shot firing. Now, as you guys can see by the recoil pattern, it drastically changes when I have nothing on it, a suppressor on it, a flash hider on it, or a compensator on it, compared to a muzzle brake. There is a very, very big drastic difference in having the right attachments on certain guns. It really does come down to personal preference though. You guys do not have to run a muzzle brake on a DMR, but having better recoil if you do run a muzzle brake. Moving on to my next point, that is actually attacking or defending differently. Now, what I mean by attacking and defending differently is becoming unpredictable. If you guys go ahead and fuse this window twice in 2 different rounds on the attacking side, then you'll become predictable the second time. If they hear it, they know exactly what window it's on, and they will go ahead and pre-fire you. A good example of this is by doing different windows with different characters and different strategies and things like that. If I go ahead and fuse this window, they have no idea the second round that I'm fusing this window. They'll most likely pre-fire this window here if they hear the fuse or the cluster charge being put onto the window, therefore leading you to die each and every single time you try and fuse. A good example of this is with Fuse. Now, Fuse likes to go to the same window every single time, and I know that because I am on the defending squad. If I know he loves this window every single time and I hear that cluster charge being planted with my headset, now I'll go ahead and fire this window, leading Fuse to die. So attacking differently is very important because then you become unpredictable. You guys can go ahead and fuse different windows and they don't know exactly what window it's on unless they have a really good headset. As you guys might tell, as you guys see just there, the terrorists knew that I was fusing on this window, so they went ahead and pre-fired me. That is actually a very good example. Moving on to my next point, and that is actually sound whoring. What sound whoring does is that it actually helps you pinpoint almost exact locations of the enemy. Now a good example of this is that I can actually hear a terrorist bomber pushing me in this other side of this room or somewhere around here. As you guys can see, I was around the corner and I could hear him in this room. Sound whoring is very important because you guys can also pre-fire when someone's there. I'll give you guys another example. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there are people in the kitchen right now. I will go ahead and go around this corner and pre-fire for a kill. As you guys can see, I missed the second terrorist there, but I still got a kill. Sound whoring is very important in this game because you guys can pinpoint almost the exact location of certain enemies, players, and even terrorists. Now that is pretty much it. I have one more tip for you guys, and that tip is by playing a lot. Siege is like training. The more you do it, the less you are likely to be bad or average. As you guys should know this already, when you first start playing a game, you guys are pretty bad or average at it because you guys don't understand the mechanics, you guys don't understand how to play ranked, you guys don't understand the game in general, but by playing it more and more every single day, you guys will then have a more common understanding of how to play the game and by getting better at it. Now if you guys want to see more Rainbow Six Siege gameplay, or some more helpful tips, please let me know by liking this video and even subscribing to this channel if you guys are new. So with that being said and with that out the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will talk to you guys in the next one.